Hey all, welcome to ShareTrack. This is Raj here. Friends, today I'm going to talk to you about Immatics because there has been some interesting developments out there which kind of makes Immatics attractive at this point of time, even though they don't have any therapy, in my opinion, that's going to get monetized this year. But they have definitely made a splash today in the news. And also we had been looking at their price chart, and it was on a bullish pennant, and I was predicting that it's going to break on the upward side, and it did. So let's do that. Let's go and have a look at Immatics in detail. But before I proceed, I would like to request that in case you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's absolutely free, and we are very close to 5,000, and your subscription might push us closer to it. With that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. In October 2022, Immatics made a big splash releasing their interim clinical data update on ACT engine IMA203 TCR-T monotherapy targeting PRAME. In my earlier videos, I have explained that PRAME, which is preferentially expressed antigen in melanoma, is a gene that encodes a protein found in humans. It was initially identified for its high expression in melanoma, a type of skin cancer. However, further research has shown that PRAME expression is not limited to melanoma and can be detected in various other types of cancers as well. So PRAME becomes a very, very attractive target to use for multiple type of cancers. Based on data from 27 patients treated with IMA203, the company announced that it had confirmed objective response rate of around 50% at target dose of above at least 1 billion infused TCR T cells across phase 1A and 1B. Thereof, 80% objective response rate in phase 1B patients alone, with all responses ongoing at data cutoff, which means they are still going strong. This was across different types of solid tumors like cutaneous melanoma, ovarian cancer, head and neck cancer, and a few other types. As per Immatics, treatment with IMA203 continued to show manageable tolerability, biological data including T-cell engraftments, persistence, and tumor infiltration consistent with clinical data. Immatics also explained that IMA203 TCR-T is part of Immatics' strategy to leverage the full clinical potential of targeting PRAME. Next data readouts on IMA203 monotherapy, IMA203 in combination with a checkpoint inhibitor, and second generation IMA203 CD8 is planned for this year. We are already halfway through this year, so we are anytime now we'll expect more results, which are going to be a positive catalyst, in my opinion, for Immatics. Friends, this is not financial advice, this is my personal opinion, so please do your due diligence before investing. Based on this news, Immatics announced a $110 million underwritten offering of ordinary shares at $10.09 per share, and sold a total of 1.09 million shares. And later in their full 2022 annual report, they announced that they successfully completed the offering in October 2022 itself. So that was a recent equity dilution and fundraising, if you may. And Immatics has a float share at this point of time of 52.148 million shares. The latest news is that BMS has invested 35 million more in Immatics by purchasing 2.4 million shares at 14.46 each, and now has a right to appoint a member to the Immatics Scientific Advisory Board. BMS has pumped in a lot of money into Immatics so far, but now with a member on the advisory board, the relationship is even stronger, and Immatics has and BMS has better control on Immatics' progress. For instance, in June 2022, BMS paid 60 million upfront and 700 million in milestone payments for 2 new programs, bringing the total value of collaboration to around $4.2 billion potentially over a period of time with Immatics. Immatics also has large partnerships with Amgen, GlaxoSmithKline, and Genmab. So, and also I think they have a collaboration with Editas for a therapy. I don't remember which one it is. All said, I do not see any therapy going into monetization for Immatics in this year. So there should be a little bit of curb on the enthusiasm because of that. Now, having said that, the overall news is positive. Immatics has got more money from BMS. Immatics and BMS relationship is becoming much stronger with a member from BMS on the board of Immatics, so they can coordinate the asset priorities and everything in a much stronger fashion, and all the experience of BMS in navigating FDA will be of benefit to Immatics. So with that said, I think I would like to look at the price chart before we finish this video. So let's go to the TradingView platform. Well, here we are in the TradingView platform looking at Immatics. Immatics was the top gainer in our watch list, gaining 2.61% or 31 cents, and closing at $12.19. And if you can see here, there was a huge gap up that happened somewhere around 2nd of May 2023. And that gap up is definitely a concern. But since then we have consolidated, and then we moved up, and then we formed a bullish pennant. And I was saying that we are going to go up on the bullish pennant. So we did that today. We opened very high, but we were constrained immediately by the resistance at 12.71, and we were pushed down, and we closed the day at around 12.19 after touching a high of 12.71 today. And we have the earnings coming up for Immatics somewhere on the 8th of August. And the earnings estimate is around a negative 28 cents for the company per share. And the revenue estimate is at 21.462 million. Most of the revenue for Immatics would come from milestone payments from various collaborations that it has got. So overall, the momentum is also pretty good. RSI has plenty of room to move up, and MACD has just crossed over to the bullish side. So everything is looking good, and the anticipation is that they would meet their the street expectations for both EPS as well as revenue. And that said, I think the BMS holding in the total float of Immatics has increased significantly. I do not know if BMS may take over Immatics in the near future, but the way they are pouring money into Immatics, it seems to me that most probably they may probably take over Immatics and just merge it. There is no news like that. It's just my speculation. I would like to know what you guys think about Immatics. The share definitely looks attractive, but at this point of time, I'm looking at all the price action that has taken in the recent past. The only optimism basically is that probably the inflation has peaked out, and that maybe by the end of the year we may start seeing interest rate cuts in the US. If that is the case, all the optimism is valid. But if that is not the case, and if oil price goes up, if you recollect the video I did a couple of days ago, if oil price does go up, a narrative is being built up for that case. And then what might happen is that the inflation is likely to push upwards, and then the Fed will have to make hawkish statements in the beginning, and then probably start raising interest rates. The housing market is also under strain because of the raised interest rates. The rental market is also under strain. So things may start suddenly looking really bad. Right now it's a Goldilocks situation, and people are on a hold pattern, and we are kind of consolidating sideways, moving up a little bit every other day. So it's a very risky time to buy any shares. Selling covered calls could be a reasonable risk and could probably benefit. I have sold covered calls for DNA. I have sold covered calls on CRISPR Therapeutics and also on Bluebird. So all of those covered calls are doing well, and the shares are also doing well at this point of time. So yeah, so that's my thought. Would I put money into Immatics at this point of time? Probably not. I don't have the money, and if I had it, I may not even put it at this point of time. I'm in a wait and watch mode, selling covered calls where possible, and in a hold pattern. So I'd like to hear from you what you guys are planning to do. Put it in the comment below, and let me know if you hold Immatics and what your thoughts are on Immatics. With that said, I'd like to end this video here. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.